It is finals time at Big Thursday Night Modern at Magic Corner Vienna. My name is Michael and joining me is Walter.
Yeah, and here in the finals we got Blue Red Storm piloted by Ricardo, Caetana de Silva on the left, against Markus Leicht on 5-color humans on the right.
Ooh, nice. 5-color humans. It's like the list we talked about it before. It's a pretty fast, pretty disruptive deck with 4 E4 Wild, Champion of the Parish to get early pressure on, Noble Hierarch, card draw, Induction Confidant, Interaction Kitesail Freebooter, and in this matchup especially good Meddling Mage because it can stop the opponent from going off by choosing.
It's called Grape Shot!
Yes.
And yeah, because this Storm list here by Ricardo, we've covered this matchup a couple of weeks ago, or even a couple of months ago now, where the Storm player just got smashed by Meddling Mage because he didn't have any answers to it. Ricardo also does not have any answers in his Blue-Red Storm deck in the main deck to Meddling Mage, because once Meddling Mage names Grape Shot, you are not able to win unless you will win through the beatdown with Baral and Goblin Electromancer, which is not going to happen ever. So we see here, Ricardo has access to a couple answers in his sideboard. Here he's got access to a lot of creature removal there, but main deck, there is nothing. So he needs to win fast, needs to win on turn 3 or 4, and hope that he fades a Meddling Mage until then.
Yes. So, well...
Yeah, so this basically any other things we have to mention here about the Storm deck is we have 11 cantrips here, 3 opts in addition to the usual 4 Sleight of Hands and 4 Serum Visions, 1 Noxious Revival in the Flex slots, 3 Remands, and very spicily we got a split between 2 basic islands and 2 snow-covered islands, meaning that you can gifts for a pile that features both. You can get Island, Snow-covered Island, and Noxious Revival, which will guarantee you make a land drop the following turn. I have no idea, you got to talk to a Storm player of your choice in figuring out whether that's relevant in 1 in 1,000 or 1 in 2,000 games, but it's sweet, and sweetness is all that counts. So let's see what our players are going to do here, drawing their starting 7.
Ricardo is still drawing his 7 cards, Markus has 7 cards in hand. Hopefully both players keep their 7 cards so we can see a great game. Oh no, Markus is taking a mulligan.
Markus mulliganing here. Ricardo seems to be happy with his 7. We see he's got access to opt here on top of his hand.
So,
what's also interesting here is in the Storm deck, every Storm pilot seems to have pivoted towards the Fetchless version, which means that we see less Blood Moons in the sideboard. But those cantrips, with the addition of Opt as well, now with 11 cantrips, having the Fetchless version is just really nice because you really know you got a visual grasp of what you have at the bottom of your deck, what you're not going to draw. And this seems to be the consensus best build right now. I haven't seen a Fetch version in a long time, which in Modern is like a month or 2. The metagame evolves pretty quickly.
So we see a Steam Wentz from the Storm player's side.
And a pass, which
yes.
smells like opt, because it's the only thing you can do. And we see a Vial here, played from, which is this expedition?
Yeah, Horizon Canopy maybe.
It is definitely Horizon Canopy,
yes,
because he took a damage, yeah. Exactly, because, yeah, Markus, like a lot of Modern players, likes to keep things nice and shiny and fancy, while Ricardo here plays an Apocalypse Chivalry, keeping it old school, looks way better, old borders awesome, not like this Origin art or M15 or whatever. I think it was printed in both. A really nice looking land here. And now he's just passing the turn here with 2 manas up.
Yes, maybe he got a remand in hand, which is now still useful. Later on when the Vial is on land, not so anymore.
Definitely, might just be able to remand a 2-drop here, but Markus doesn't hit a second land drop here. It just has to pass with the Vial on 1 here.
Yes.
Oh. Maybe as a Hierarch it's going to jump in at the end of Ricardo's turn, making it not as bad for him, but generally this is not the perfect situation. But we have to remember he mulliganed here. So
yes,
you can't expect a perfect hand.
Okay, so we see a Goblin
Electromancer, yeah.
Yes, which basically makes incidents of
and an additional Shivan Reef.
Yes.
An ugly one.
Is he going off here?
We see
yes.
Ritual here, Paratic Ritual, Costs 1 mana to cast, which means that Ricardo has access to 3 in his pool. Storm count is 2. See where it goes there. We got some nice Pokemon cards here.
Yes, Pokemon energy cards.
And Pokemon, what is mana quoted Pokemon? I got no idea.
Energy.
All of them are energy. Okay,
Yes.
sure. And the Storm counter is the Psycho Energy.
Yes. The violet one. Yeah, it's Psycho Energy.
And yeah, Mana Morphos, also gaining a mana, adding the Storm, also filtering some of this red mana into blue. We also got, thanks Ricardo, you're using dice that we can actually see on camera. That's amazing. And we see what the follow-up is here, draw a card of Mana Morphos.
More rituals.
Basically, Markus is F6 here. There is no 1-mana interaction that can come out of the Wild or of the Horizon Canopy here that matters. So he's just going to have to watch what Ricardo can put up here.
Yes. Well, we'll see what is happening. He's looking at his graveyard. 1 Mana Morphos, 1 Desperate.
It's Pyretic Ritual here.
Pyretic
Desperate is
Ritual,
the one
yes.
from Kamigawa with Splice. And here we're just going to go for Past in Flames straight away.
Yes.
So we see he's only got 1 red floating, but the 1 red is enough to recast Ritual, going up to 3 red, then the Mana Morphos filtering 1 of those red into 2 blue because of the Electromancer, upping the Storm count. But I think that he has to hope to hit something of the Mana Morphos and to opt here, meaning he is going to see 3 new cards.
Yes.
Which means that this is not... Probably when he went for that Past in Flames line, he didn't have a deterministic line, but he had a lot of draws. We see what is going to happen here. He probably needs to reconsider what he can do.
I think he tried to go off because he's afraid of the Meddling Mage. Because
Definitely.
He lost to it in
Definitely.
last games.
Definitely, he knows what Markus can do on turn 2. He just needs to wing it and see what's happening. We have a Baral here. Baral is nice. It's a 2nd cost reducer. You could go Baral into gifts, then you're out of mana, but then you have a good position, but you still die to Meddling Mage. So
Yes.
instead, he's going to just opt here, going down to 1 blue mana, and Storm's already up to 7. And he's thinking he's
Straight to the bottom.
not straight to the bottom, but very quickly to the bottom.
He drew the 2nd Baral, I think. Ooh, this is not good.
No, there's a gifts on the left of his hand here,
Yes.
which he again could cast, which is still good, but not against Meddling Mage.
No. Still not. But I think...
But he's going for it. He doesn't have any other options. Okay, he's considering. Like, gifts is great. Like, you have a nice setup. You have the Past in Flames in your graveyard. You have the cards from the gifts in your hand. You have cards from the gifts in the graveyard. You still have the Electromancer.
Yes.
You're basically winning, but if Markus has Meddling Mage, all of a sudden you just lost.
Yes, and he knows that, because he knows his list. Maybe Markus doesn't know that he doesn't have an answer to Meddling Mage in his main.
But most people don't, otherwise it's just 1 copy of Bolt or something, or 1
Yes.
copy of Echoing Truth. I've seen people play that too.
Yeah, but with gifts, Past in Flames, still possible.
Sure. We see that this is the normal gift pile.
Yes.
Basically, this is what they always get unless they want to get something else, like islands and snow-covered islands. They never want to get it. They always just want to get richer, Mana Morphos, and Past in Flames. And we see an interesting split, because normally split is you either want to strand them on mana or on resources. You either want to give them both riches, you want to give them the Morphos and the Past in Flames. But here it's different because there's already Past in Flames in the graveyard. So putting the Past in Flames are not doing as much as the other 3 cards in that pile. But we see a Thalia here. We saw an end of turn champion of the parish in the Thalia, which is very backbreaking generally, but here Ricardo might have a lot of resources already with the Electromancer and the Baral in his hand, that he might just be able to win through a Thalia here.
Yes, because the Baral will just counter the Failure and the Electromancer.
Exactly, so you would be back to 1 cost reducer, because...
Yes.
Oh, nice, but we have a Caetana freeboot on draw step here. Out of the wild.
Yeah, but I don't think this will be enough, because we already have a Past in Flames in the graveyard, and he just drew another ritual, which was, I think, one of the perfect draws for his situation.
Sure, he's thinking if he can pull off something in the draw step here, but
Yeah.
generally you want only to respond in the draw step if you have a gifts. But now we have Riemann, gifts, Baral, ritual, and Past in Flames. So it's very done on the hand here. Because if there was only 1 ritual,
Oh, no,
it would just...
you know what? He needs to deck the 2nd ritual, so he can't cast Past in Flames. He needs to take actually the 2nd ritual, so he can't go off
So
the
you
turn.
can cast Baral and you can cast Ritual, but
Yes,
then you
but-
only have 3 mana,
Yes,
exactly,
yes,
right.
so he needs the 2nd ritual to go off this turn. Yeah.
Also, why would you take any other card?
Gifts is a powerful card, but
Yeah, sure. The
he
Gifts
already
took
has
the-
one in the
yeah.
graveyard. And now he can easily cast it with going Baral, countering
Yeah.
the Foliar, and then going Ritual, or Ritual.
Yeah, and we see it because
Passive flames.
Ricardo's taking out the energy counters. Ricardo's a pretty proficient Storm player. He does not take out those counters lightly. If he takes out those Pokemon cards, he has a valid shot of winning the game.
Serious business with Pokemon cards.
Exactly.
So first ritual being cast costs 1 less because of the falling in play and not 2 less. And the second ritual being cast is going up to 5 mana. And he's going to cast
The Past in Flames from his hand, because it's cheaper. Past in Flames in hand
Yeah.
costs 3,
Now-
because again, every spell costs 1 less. Thalia can, like you said, Thalia cancels one of the cost reducers,
Yes.
other cost reducer just
We are
sticks.
already up to 5 storm counts and we are going further that way.
Yeah, we
From
just
mana
replaying
sources.
all those rituals from the graveyard that got
Yes.
flashback thanks to the Past in Flames, and then we will be able to also flashback gifts, probably the Mana Morphos before the gifts,
Yeah,
the gifts before the
of
Mana
course.
Morphos, not sure, Mana Morphos before the gifts, because you might still
need
draw a
blue
card.
mana?
Yeah. You need blue mana for the
Yes.
gifts. This is very I'm very sorry I didn't saw he had blue. He didn't have access to blue mana. Now
Ooh,
and
and
now
another-
he drew another ritual off the mana morphos. Let's
Insane.
just get 2 extra mana, the extra storm
So-
count here. Storm's up to 9 already. Now you can gifts. You still have a bunch of red mana here.
Yes. So it's pretty hard to lose from this point because here's another gift. There are 2 Bastion Flames in grave.
Exactly. The only
Yes.
thing here is that he doesn't have a lot of blue mana, but he can get more mana morphoses.
Yeah.
Because if the mana morphos gets put into the graveyard, he has way more than enough red mana to just flashback past the flames and cast another mana,
Yes.
mana morphos. So he will have access to blue mana no matter what split Markus chooses here.
What is the screen cut again with the Phyrexian mana?
It's Noxious Reviver. It's Phyrexian green, and it lets you put any card from your a target card from your graveyard on top of your library. And so it gets Grapeshot, Noxious Reviver, Ritual, which basically just means that he'll have access to the Grapeshot no matter what. He's not getting it. Okay, I was thinking of
He's
that
needing a
part.
mana morphos too to draw it. Or
Yes. This is right. He needs to have a cantrip in there too, because otherwise he put a card on top of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
library and you
because
don't have access to it immediately.
he
What
has-
were the cards he's left in his hand? There's 1 Remand and the second Baral, so those don't do anything right now.
No.
I mean, obviously Remand does something because he can just remand his Grapeshot. So basically he's already at 10. He could just get the pile he was getting. It was a win. He can get the
okay.
Manamorphos too. The other pile was a win too, I think, because he can just go Grapeshot, remand your Grapeshot. But the Noxious
Yeah.
Revival just wasn't doing anything.
I just didn't saw the remand. So yeah.
Yeah, no, the remand. I'm pretty sure the cards that left in
Didn't
his
see.
hand are Remand and Barar. So now it really doesn't matter because now he just has access to the Grapeshot via Past in Flames.
Yeah, so we see ritual here. We are going to see Past in Flames. I
Past in
guess.
Flames flashback costing 4 mana right now, and
Yes.
it's more than enough here. And also Markus has seen enough. Markus also
Yes.
knows what the Storm deck is capable of. Markus is just looking at top cards. It's like, if there was a Meddling Mage, I'm getting sorted. If there was no Meddling Mage, I'm getting sorted too. I just don't like looking at the top cards of my deck at any point because it's just like I don't see any positive influence of that. It just makes you play worse Magic generally.
Sometimes it's just tempting that you just want to know, even if you know, you don't really want to know, but you kind of know. It's a weird situation.
I don't think I've done it in approximately 5 years or something, but I have other issues with discipline in Magic, but I don't have an issue with being disciplined about that. But yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
The temptation, I understand the temptation, I just don't understand doing it.
Okay, so we are going to sideboarding. So, Walter, what's in the board from?
Yeah, so in the
Ricardo's
board
side?
of Ricardo's Storm deck, there are ways to deal with Meddling Mage to not lose immediately. We got 1 Dismember here, we got 3 Lightning Bolts, we got 1 Wipe Away, and 1 Echoing Troop. So we got 6 cards that deal with Meddling Mage. Those are all givens, you need to bring them in. Other options here include Empty the Warrens, which I don't like because you already have to have 6 pieces. Giga Drowse, which I also don't like. Giga Drowse is very good against counterspell decks because you can tap them out on upkeep. But other than that, I would bring in those 6 cards. I think you can trim on cost reducers a bit because the Humans deck doesn't have a lot of removal. You can probably trim on some of your other combo pieces. You probably don't need the Noxious Flyover in this matchup. You might need it. The Remans are bad because of the grape shots. So you probably take out the Remans and some other resorted cards. And you bring in those 6 cards. You hope that your opponent will not draw Meddling Mage again. And if they draw Meddling Mage, you draw one of your answers.
So you don't play Empty the Warrens in the main deck, or?
He doesn't play Empty the Warrens in the main deck. I just don't think bringing Empty is that good here simply because you already bring in 6 cards. You don't want to water down your combo deck too much post sideboarding. I generally, in abstract, Empty is nice in this match. It's kind of good, but I don't think it's necessary when you already have 6 cards that you are forced to bring in.
Okay. So, and here, on the human side, we got 2 Dismember in the sideboard, which are great against the enablers, Baral and
Goblin
Necromancer. Thank you very much. Aether's One Canonist, which lets you only play 1 spell per turn.
Aether's One Canonist is awesome against Storm. It also, you cannot win through Aether's One Canonist. Aether's One Canonist also is another Meddling Mage kind of card. It's not as brutal, but you still need to kill it or bounce it before you can go off.
And then, if the Storm player brings in his Empty the Warrens, you could have 2 Asset Steady cards in his sideboard, which would get rid of the tokens in one shot.
If I were Markus, I'd probably bring in Hedge, probably bring in 1.
Yes, and
Maybe.
another card which he for sure should bring in is Kambal, Consul of Allocation. You know what that creature does?
Yes, I have been playing it in all my sideboards as a 1 for a long time. It is a 1 colorless, 1 white, 1 black, 2/3, and it has the text of whenever your opponent casts a non-creature spell, you drain them for 2. Also very hard to a combo off through, and also Sync Collector from Markus' sideboard is great too.
Insane.
It is exiling the rest on a stick, which is very, very nice here too.
Does the card come back from Sync Collector, or is it gone forever?
It's gone forever.
Ooh.
It just exiles an instant or a sorcery. It's again same mana cost as Kambar. It's a 2/1. It's one colorless, 1 black, 1 white. A 2/1, and when it enters the battlefield, you get to permanently exile target sorcery or instant. Exiling is great against Past and Flames. Exiling sweet generally.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So Markus has shuffled it up. Ricardo is still shuffling, or did he take him out again? I could not see that.
I think he's still shuffling for his 7, but I'm not completely sure. What would you take out here from Markus' deck? Because we identified some of the cards to bring in. What is not as good here?
Yeah. Reflector Mage is pretty bad. Or I'm not quite sure.
Refractor
about
Mage. I
but
think Refractor Mage is still pretty bad.
I think it's still pretty bad actually, because
Reflect is good
neither
sometimes,
it's pressure, but on the other hand,
3 mana.
Ricardo can, because 3 mana Ricardo could have Baral or Goblin Electromancer. So it's kind of difficult to say. And another thing is maybe he doesn't need. I'm not quite sure. Castle Freebooter is good. That Confident card draw, okay, yeah, because you need extra cards. Falius Lieutenant maybe, because he doesn't need that pressure, because he has.
I think Lieutenant is just strictly better than Mantis Rider here in terms of power it adds to the
yes,
board.
You're right. Mantis Rider.
I'm
doesn't do
also not
anything.
sure if are Vials necessary in this matchup.
Excuse me, what?
Are Ether Vials necessary in this matchup?
Ooh.
Does it? Are you
you-
faster with or without Vials? I'm not completely sure about that.
Because you can go like Meddling Mage and Kitesail Freebooter, or after.
Like you can make really sweet
Aether's One
plays, yeah.
Canonist, really sweet plays, or you can make a play and still keeping Dismember open.
Yeah.
Oh, it's really hard to say. I think I would keep the Ether Vials in.
What about the Phantasmal Image?
The Phantasmal
Because
Image?
most of the cards that win you the game, you can just double up on
Yes.
Meddling Mage. You can double up on Meddling Mage.
I think Phantasmal Image is
But-
pretty good. Maybe cutting 1-2, but I'm really not a humans player, but I would like to try this deck because.
So
I
this
think
is
it's
interesting here because
fascinating
actually Humans player's deck is great, and he's going to start off here with
Yes.
Seacrum Coast and an Ether Vial. So at least we can figure out he didn't side all of those.
fun. Yeah, he left one in. No, we don't know that.
I probably left in more than one, but yeah. And now we got a shock steam went into Sleight of Hand here from Ricardo's side.
Yes, Sleight of Hand's great card, but I think Serum Visions and Up are still better, or?
Definitely. Both of those are better. Sleight of Hand has the advantage of being white bordered. You want to tilt your opponent, you play Sleight of Hand. There is no white bordered opt and no white bordered
Yeah.
Serum Visions.
Hey, but you could opt for a foil Sleight of Hands. So that would be blackboarded.
Some of them, not those.
Oh.
Those are the old ones.
Ah, yeah.
Those are even older. The 8th and 9th edition ones, those foils are blackboarded.
Yeah.
But this is an older one. I'm not sure. Some older core set. I think it's 7th edition. those ones are also black border.
Also
the 7th
black border?
edition foil is a black border because
might
the
be,
7th
might be.
edition Birds of Paradise are like the death birds of paradise to get because they have this like nice artwork of this like little bird in the middle, something, and the foil is a black border.
What do we see here? Okay, he's choosing a card. I think it's a land card. Or no,
It's
a
Serum Visions, yeah. And he's passing. So he's just trying to dig further, being put on the Ether Vial, and now we see what Markus has got here in the second turn. If he has one of his lots of powerful true-ups here, be it a Thalia, Meddling Mage, a Kite Seal, Freeboot, and Ethos von Canis, but we just got a Noble Hierarch instead. Playing the Noble Hierarch here strongly indicates another Noble Hierarch.
Yes, because Champion of the Parish would have been played before.
Yeah, exactly.
So he could get another.
And if he
counter.
only had one drop, he would just vial it in.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course. So
We
see-
got it! We're so good, Michi. We're so
Yay.
good.
On Ricardo's side, we see Baral, which is pretty nice here. We can also see a Bounce Spell, Echoing Truth in his hand, to get rid of some nasty creatures.
Yeah, and here we got a
Markus
third
Meijer.
land, and we got Refractor Mage still in at least one copy,
Okay.
which is very good in this situation. I like the Refractor Mage on the play is nice. Like it's not bad on the draw side at all, but now he can't. He can't recast Baral this turn, so he got some more time. We can see Serum Visions being cast
Yes.
instead.
But it's actually still fine. He can just draw into the cards he wants to draw, then play Baral and try to go off if.
Sure, he's already
Yeah,
down to
like
60
Markus.
here though, because that Noble Hierarch also swung in thanks to 2 Exorbitant triggers, dealing 2 damage, and now the Refractor Mage is already going to threaten to deal 4 next turn, and also we got this Vial still on 2, so maybe there's something hiding here.
Maybe
at
a
the end
Thalia's
of turn.
Lieutenant. Would be great.
Yeah, sure, but the Thalia's Lieutenant would have just dealt extra damage if you vial it in combat.
Yeah, this is true. Okay, so no
Nothing,
two-drop?
no two-drop, yeah.
Nothing. No Meddling Mage, no nothing. Maybe he's keeping the Meddling Mage when he stepped out, but I'm not quite sure.
No, I think every tutor would have been better to get down
Sim Collector?
mages here. Yeah, Cumber!
Oh, wow, this needs to be handled.
Yeah, Cumber also got this. Cumber is very nice, also
Yeah.
flavored card. It's very beautiful, and yeah, will just get Echoing Truth at end of turn. So Cumber will trigger once, which means that Ricardo is already down to 8 here, but he has a shot. But he only has a shot of basically winning this turn, because otherwise
Yes.
just Cumber is just going to get back, and then it's very hard because
Devastating.
he's down to 8, and he's going to take 4 from this Refractor Mage next turn still. So we see Baral is coming back, and now Ricardo kind of just has to go for it.
Ritual.
Starting off with Desperate Ritual.
You got it right, I always got it wrong. How's the other rituals?
The other ritual is called Paretic Ritual.
Paratic Ritual.
And
Thank
Desperate
you very much.
Ritual has the amazing Kamigawa block Splice onto a Khan mechanic.
Yes.
That means if you have 2 rituals and you have 4 mana in your hand, you can generate an extra mana because you spliced one on the other. It stays in your hand, but you get the effect. But you need to pay both of that. You need to pay 4 mana up front.
Free with Baral in play.
Yeah, sure, but this is just generally speaking.
Manamorphose here, he's going up to
2 and 2.
red, 2 blue. He's drawing
Yeah.
another card. Maybe it's a ritual or ooh, I think it
Not
was
a ritual, yeah.
Going up to 4 mana and 4 storm count. And what's going on? Ooh,
Another Manamorphose. And he couldn't splice that first one because he didn't have enough initial mana, but it doesn't really matter because this is looking great. So basically the mana front is good here, it just needs to have payoffs. And this is the gifts, and this might just be it already.
Yes.
That Echoing Truth, we saw that because Markus had the Cumber, that would just win the game, but end of turn, being able to have the mana open and bounce at end of turn might just spell game. We see what's going to happen here, but I think it's just going to get our average pile of Past and Frames richer Manamorphose.
Yeah.
Or
Looks
maybe
like this.
already get a Grapeshot if he doesn't have access to one, but he doesn't need to get the Grapeshot at this point. You can always find your Grapeshot later.
Yeah, because you got gifts in it.
Yeah, you can just flashback it, exactly.
And you can
Flash
flashback
it back, yeah.
You can say flashback it, I think.
No, you can say, you flash it back.
Okay.
When I'm not doing magic commentary, I'm an English teacher, so it's you flash it back. Yeah, it's if you have a verb that has 2 parts, it's like
Yes, he starts nagging on me again. Usually he only does that after recording.
It's more fun to do it that way. So you guys also got something. No, but Michi is a great commentator. Michi's English is awesome. Just making some lighthearted fun here. We got the pile we were talking about, which was no surprise to anybody here.
Ooh.
Basically, Gifts Ungiven is that card that gives you unlimited options, and 95% of the time you're going to get exactly that pile.
So the big ritual is going to graveyard, while Manamorphose and Busting Flame stay in hand. Manamorphose will generate an extra mana because of Baral in play.
Exactly.
And then he will cast Busting Flames.
He's going to cast Busting Flames
No,
first.
he cannot cast Busting Flames. It's not possible. Nope. He cannot do that. It's no. Ah, no. Oh my god.
he can.
And I dump. He has a
He's
Shiva Reaver
responding.
play.
He's responding to the Past in Flames with the Mana Morphos.
Ah, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm not sure if this is necessary, but it's really sweet
Yes.
and tricky. So he puts Past in Flames on the stack, responds with Mana Morphos, meaning that he will also have it because he's going to cast the Past in Flames first, so that if there is any interaction out of the vial, he has a response. And now this is the game because Markus already realizes that he will take a lot more than 22 damage in the course of what happened here. And Markus shows his hand. His one big piece of interaction here was the combo. He had it, but the Echoing Truth answer.
Yes.
So basically, we see the dynamic of this game. The humans play so many things that are unbeatable, but the Storm play just is brute force, speed, and answers. And if they draw an answer, then it's very, very hard for the humans player to come back, because you answer one of those things and then you can kill him.
But yet I still do think that the humans play is favorite.
Well, very much. But the Storm player can make it happen. Player can make it happen. Here we saw wipe away 3 lightning bolts, Echoing Truth, and the Dismember exactly as we predicted. Only those 6 cards, no empties. But let's see what he was taking out, because what he was putting in was easy. The Remans, and what else?
We saw Remans, and is he going to show us more?
Yeah. Thanks. He put three Remans and 2.
Odd?
No.
Okay, we are not.
And we see that Markus was also bringing in, we forgot about it, Graftica's Cage, completely destroying Past in Flames, another unbeatable. You can win without Past in Flames, but it's harder, but it's still and he took out the 4 Mantis Riders, the 2 Dark Confidence and 1 for Desperate Image. I totally agree with the Mantis Riders. I'm not sure if, I would have probably liked seeing, I really like Dark Confidence against Storm, but I really like Dark Confidence against anything except for Burn. Dark Confidence is my favorite magic card ever, pretty much, so I really like it against Storm simply because it only costs 2 mana and then it generates advantage all the time. It's low resource input, it's high output.
True.
I would probably like something else here, maybe get out like 1 edition of Test Match Image, 1 Refractor Mage or something. But I really like Markus taking out the Mantis Riders here, simply because Mantis Rider looks good. It's a fast threat, but it's just not as good as the other cards you have access to here.
Yes, this is true what you said. And I just want to mention that actually the game before, the match before, we forgot about the Graftica's Cage also.
Exactly. So this is the unintuitive thing, because you think the humans stack human side, but just humans in the side, but doesn't, because it also has access to Graftica's Cage and Dismember, which you can cast without having access to any colored mana, and it only costs 1 mana, so you can still cast them in your 4 Ancient Ziggurat deck. And yeah, so that was it from us tonight, from Big Thursday Night Modern and MagicCon in Vienna. Thanks very much for watching, and we hope we will see you again next time.
See you again. Ciao.